tying a bow in the lead magnet system, what do you think is the biggest mistake founders make when building these lead magnets?
I think the biggest mistake that they make is that they overthink it and overcomplicate it. It's like most things around content. I think that people start to wonder, oh, should I make this or should I make that? And oh, will people like this or would they like that? And when I talk to founders like that, because I see this all the time.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think about it, it's, Jeff Bezos has that amazing kind of analogy, right? Of like one-way doors or two-way doors, right? One-way doors is like getting married to someone, right? You get married, it's tricky to kind of get out of that, right? Like you got to kind of really double check that one, right? On the other side, you have things like, a lead magnet. If you're between this and this, just make both or choose one. Who cares? This is a joke, right? Like, just make something, push it. And I think that's one of the big things, especially when people are getting started, is like, you really want to optimize, I think, most for learning velocity, right? Are you just learning as fast as humanly possible? Because learning is the kind of leading indicator to then momentum and results and what you're really after with your vision and your mission in 10 years, right? And so how does the learning happen? The learning happens from the shipping, right? Just ship the shit, right? Ship it messy, ship it embarrassed, ship it when you're like you're just scared of it. Just ship it, right? Because you put it out there and either way you win. And I think this is an important mindset for people to have, right? It's like you either ship it and it's amazing, neat, make more of that shit and learn what you did there and double down on that process. If you mess it up and it's garbage, amazing. You do refine your judgment, you learn like whether the taste was off, the intuition off, what your audience doesn't want, and just don't make that anymore. And truthfully, I know guys like us, right? We view it, I know 50% of what I do is going to be kind of garbage by my standard. After the fact, I'm going to learn that. And then 50% is going to be freaking dialed. And you just come to like learn that it's not about good or bad, right? It's about, can you maximize your learning, right? And if you can learn really fast, especially when the world is evolving as fast as it is right now, I think you're just guaranteed to win.
So you're saying I shouldn't make a seventh edit on our lead magnets anymore. We're probably at like 4 or 5 edits per. Yeah. I don't think people are going to really be mad if they don't get a crazy amount of value from a lead magnet.
Yeah. And I think more importantly too, right? So like under that, and thanks to the vulnerability, right? It's like, you got like 6 different styles you're toying around with. Release 5 to 6 that have all 6 different styles. And then see, after you've done a month of those, 4 of each different style, which one converted best? Which one felt best to you? Did you get any text messages from your audience or someone that you respect being like, whoa, this was insane? And, on a quick sidebar there, we talk a lot about, like signal versus noise here, right? Like to me, after I've created over 36,000 pieces of content over the last 16 years, the thing that matters most to me is maybe getting a text message from my buddy, Daniel Dalen, saying, man, that piece of content was dope. Or if I got a message from you being like, man, that thing you put out the other day was amazing. And maybe that thing only has like 10,000 views versus say 250,000 would be like a banger by view standards, right? So I think it's also just paying attention to the signal online, right? I'd much rather create a piece of content that my highest paying customer was like, wow, that was insane. I would love more of that versus something that got 100,000 views, but no one really said much in my network. And it wasn't obvious to me that like it was actually making a dent in some sort of space.
The quality of the offline text is huge. And I've said that before on podcasts, but I probably should take that into account more because it's important.
Yeah.
Last thing on the lead magnets, how do you ensure that the lead magnet is attracting the right person as far as for us, we put them through a Typeform sequence to understand and know and kind of bucketize them in the right cohorts. Are you doing stuff on the front end or is it all on the back end to have a very, very good understanding of who exactly the person is that signs up for the lead magnet?
Yeah, so everything's on the back end for me. I think one thing to double click on the lead magnet. So every person online, right, talks a lot about offers. But I think that really most businesses are a series of 7 different offers, okay? And it's an offer on your Instagram bio, the way you write that to get someone to follow you. It's an offer underneath a carousel to get someone to go and maybe enter the DM sequence for ManyChat. It's an offer in how you handle those chats to get someone to give you their email. It's an offer to then, when you send those emails in that lead magnet, to then get someone to convert maybe to a sales call or a sale of the product. And so let's double click into then the offer that needs to exist in a lead magnet to get someone to take that next step, whether it's buy your product or to go and book a sales call, let's say. Inside of a given lead magnet, I think it's good to have like maybe 3 different opportunities for people to take that next step, right? Because inevitably the point of that lead magnet is to get people to move to the next step of the process.
And to qualify them accordingly, which offer they would want.
Yeah. So what we want to do, like you're saying, right, is make sure, number one, that the copy is calling out the right kind of person. Say I'm looking to serve founders that are doing at least $1 million per year and help them in FounderOS with their systems, remove themselves from operations and build their founder-led brand. I'm going to call out that kind of person inside of that lead magnet and make sure if they're that kind of business owner that they take the next step and chat with my team, right? Inside of the lead magnet too, you obviously want to make sure that the lead magnet itself is indicative of what they can find in your product, right? Over time, again, just more with the information. You don't need to worry about the design so much, right? But is the content quality, right? I think that one step further than that too is, let's just say right now, one thing that we're playing a lot with is this idea of, okay, you downloaded this thing. Now go and take your results from this lead magnet. You filled it out. You understood where your bottleneck was, where you were stuck with your systems, and bring that to a systems audit call with us, right? So it's like almost viewing, let's just say you have a sales call, hypothetically, you have the call and the lead magnet are almost one thing.
Wow.
Right? So it's like, okay, you've got this. Now do this next logical step because those things combined are what you're actually looking for. Because now you've kind of brainstormed yourself, you saw where you were stuck, and now we're here to get you unstuck. And no matter whether you work with us or not, we're just going to make sure you're feeling good after that.
And that's almost like a customizable outcome as well, too. They feel like they're getting one-to-one consulting.
Yeah, for free.
Oof, that.
So that's the way I think to think about it. And then at the end, right? If someone's got to the end of a lead magnet, talk your shit, right? Put your case studies in there. Put some testimonials in there. Put some of the great things you've done. Give them information on what you're offering, whether it's details on the amazing e-commerce product that you have or info on the different mastermind, you're offering or whatever it may be, right? Let people know what you do and how it works, right? Because that's a great opportunity to just get in front of them and they've read it, they're engaged, they're interested, right? Make sure they know like really what you do.
So you have the content, you have the lead magnet system. They're obviously getting moved into the newsletters. From a funnel and sales system perspective, I don't even want to go deep into that. I want to dive right into delivery and customer success. Because I always think in almost anything, like a key example is in podcasts, is if you look at kind of like the sequencing from a podcast perspective, pre-packaging, pre-production, production, post-production, and then delivery and distribution, I feel like people sorely underestimate both ends. The actual idea and then the actual delivery, deployment. Is the audience, is the customer actually happy? And I checked some stuff about your just POV on customer success and how you look at it. I'd love for you to share with everybody just how do you look at customer success with what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, Steve Jobs said customer success is the new marketing, right? And I think that when you're building any business, most businesses, like 90% of the headaches and 90% of the success of your business is actually delivering a great product. It's easy to sell people. It's easy to market to people. That stuff's easy, right? It's actually delivering something that delights someone. That's the difficult part, right? So inside of FounderOS, as an example, when someone joins, I'm having my chief product officer get on a one-to-one with every single person. From there, we're getting on a call for about 90 minutes, mapping out their existing business, their offer, their economics, their profit, where they're looking to get to. And then for every single person, making a customized roadmap for where they need to go based on where they're trying to get to.
Customized keyword.
Customized, right? Yep. So yeah, no templates, no GPT, like this is a human. And this is someone that's been in this space too for 15 years, not me, like the chief product officer, Sean. And we're mapping out that whole plan for you. From there, we're then having different activation points, right? So essentially core different milestones week by week that you need to kind of get through and that we're going to help you through and install for you to make sure that you're gradually setting up your media empire, that you've got the right people in place, that your offer is dialed in, that you have the economics of your business right, that you have the workflows as to how these people are all working to deliver on a great product set up right. Because along the way, we help founders because a lot of founders don't know what platforms to get going on. They don't know how to operate at the level we operate on any of those platforms. They don't know how to make lead magnets, how to build the infrastructure to their email list, how to staff their company. They don't know how to even pivot an offer. If an offer's been doing well, but now it's dropped over the years from an 80% margin to a 10% margin, and they need to adjust it, but they need some sort of sparring partner to help them out with that. That's kind of where we come in as sort of a specialist in helping founders build these kind of profitable media companies and help them with all the intricacies, the weirdness of getting that all set up. And so along the way, it's those activation points. And I think just making sure that people know that they're just like one message away. They have our phone number, they're in Slack with us. They can message us anytime they need anything to make sure that any sort of issue that may come up, like we've got their back. And I think when I go and I'm just out in the world at different maybe events or talking to people, what I've learned over the last few years is like I've gone to a few events where I've been really disappointed, right? Something just was off. Okay. And what I realized was that like the one thing that I think we have at Founder OS that's really different is like that we really, really care. If you're at a dinner conversation with like my team, all we're talking about is like, how can we make this piece of the curriculum better? How can we make this aspect of the community better? How can we make this event more badass? We're planning an epic 30-person Dolomites retreat for 7 days, 2 different refugios, epic hikes, amazing speakers, like, and nerding out over that kind of stuff. And so I think it's really just the base level of the delivery is making sure you have a culture that prioritizes care and prioritizes going the extra mile for people. And lastly, like being insanely generous, right? So maybe your typical delivery process has a general flow to it, which is good, right? You may have a few different tracks people go. In FounderOS, maybe some people are looking to scale their offer. Some people are looking to scale a media company. And some people are looking to remove themselves from operations, right?